Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking into something pretty unsettling. Source material sent in by a listener who's deep into horror and true crime. Specifically, we're talking about genuinely disturbing true accounts from the deep wilderness.
Yeah, these aren't your typical lost hiker stories.
Yeah.
We're talking about fear, paranoia, maybe even malice, way out there.
Right. Encounters that leave you with way more questions than answers. Okay, let's unpack these frightening encounters.
What's really fascinating, I think, is how that peaceful feeling you get in nature can just shatter instantly. Not because of a storm or an animal, but because of, well, human stuff.
Yeah.
Fear, secrets.
We've got three really different situations here, but they're all tied together by that dread of the unknown, especially when you're isolated. So our first story, this one takes us to the Beaverhead Deer Lodge National Forest. Huge place, straddles Idaho and Montana. The account is from Andrew, originally from California, moved to Boise specifically for access to places like this. He was hiking between Maverick and Stewart Mountains.
And the terrain itself plays a part, right?
Yeah.
You describe it.
Yeah, he said it started as this open valley, but then it just tapers into what he called a capillary system of narrow trails.
Almost like a maze, designed to disorient you, maybe.
That's how it felt to him, like a hedge maze, easy to get turned around. And that's when things get weird. He smells campfire smoke, which, isn't totally crazy, but where he was, it felt off.
Right, because the trails were confusing. Visibility probably wasn't great in those narrow bits.
Exactly. So he follows the smell, goes off trail, and finds this shelf of land, treeless, totally hidden from the main paths. And sitting there is this incredibly well-built illegal cabin, 2 rooms, clearly meant to be permanent.
Not just a temporary shelter. We're talking a dwelling.
Yeah, and get this. A vegetable garden, fenced in. Somebody was living there long term. Andrew's just standing there taking this in, probably thinking, and then the door opens. Out comes this guy, bald, maybe 40s or 50s, wearing dirty clothes. And he is not happy to see Andrew. Not at all.
Just immediate hostility.
Instantly enraged. Before Andrew can even really react, the guy ducks back inside and comes out with a bolt-action hunting rifle.
Wow. Okay, so no warning, no get off my land. Straight to lethal threat.
Right. Andrew had a handgun, he mentions, but it was concealed, meant for bears, not people. He immediately tries to de-escalate, turns to leave, shouts something like, "Hey, I'm leaving. Sorry to intrude."
Sensible reaction.
But the guy's voice just stops him cold. Andrew actually described it, and this is chilling. He compared it to the voice from the book Dune.
That power of command that just paralyzes you.
Exactly. Like it bypassed his brain and just forced him to stop. Then the guy raises the rifle and Andrew hears that sound. The click-clack of the bolt being chambering around.
Oh man, that sound alone is terrifying. It signals intent.
The guy points the rifle right at him and demands, "Are you from the government?"
There it is, the paranoia. He's hiding from something official.
Clearly. Andrew, thinking fast, says no. Then the situation gets even more bizarre. The man lowers the rifle just a bit and asks him, "Do you believe in God?"
Whoa. Okay, where's this going?
Andrew's agnostic, but in that moment, he lies, says he's Baptist, whatever he thought might keep him alive.
Smart move. Probably bought him a few seconds.
It seemed to work temporarily. The guy seemed satisfied. But then he says really coldly that he couldn't tolerate a third person knowing he was there.
A third? Implying someone else already knew?
Yeah.
Or just anyone beyond the two of them?
Yeah.
Chilling either way?
Yeah. And then he orders Andrew to his knees.
Oh, no.
Makes him swear. Not just swear, but swear on his life, on God, and on his family.
Using faith as a weapon now.
Totally. Tells him to ask God to strike you down dead if he ever tells anyone. The command was just absolute terror. Andrew said the guy only stopped when he actually broke down, like genuinely crying and terrified.
This raises an important question. What kind of person, what kind of fugitive uses this kind of ritualistic terror? It's not just a threat of violence. It's psychological manipulation. Trying to bind Andrew with fear of God, fear for his family is deeply disturbing.
And calculating. Because what happens next, Andrew, obviously shaken, gets out of there and immediately reports it. Gives the exact coordinates, 45 degrees, 28 minutes, 30.9 seconds north, 113 degrees, 12 minutes, 41.1 west. Specific.
And that specificity is key, right?
Yeah.
It shows Andrew wasn't just making it up. He knew exactly where he was. But even with that,
Even with the exact coordinates, the rangers couldn't find it on the first try. The forest is that dense, the location that hidden.
which tells you how remote and secure this guy felt.
When they finally did locate it on a second search, the guy was long gone. The cabin looked like it hadn't been lived in for a while.
He knew. He must have figured Andrew would talk.
Exactly. The takeaway is terrifying.
Really?
This guy predicted Andrew would break the oath, vanish without a trace, and is probably still out there. Somewhere else.
Wow. Okay. That's,
Yeah.
Let's maybe shift gears a bit.
Yeah, let's move to a different place, different kind of threat. Stevens Creek, South Carolina. Much less remote, more like familiar local trails. This account comes from a hiker who regularly visited the area. Over time, they got used to seeing evidence of this older guy, Ron.
Ron. Sounds harmless enough.
That was the vibe. Maybe 50s or 60s, thinning gray hair, ponytail. He built these little impromptu shelters out of dead wood along the creek.
Like bushcraft. A hobbyist kind of thing.
Exactly. Started simple, but got more skilled over time. Seemed like a perfectly wholesome outdoorsy hobby. Blended right in.
Which is sometimes the most dangerous kind of camouflage, isn't it? Appearing normal.
Well, yeah. Because one day, this past September, the hiker's out there enjoying the piece, and then they hear it. A stick snaps behind them. Loudly. Too loud for a squirrel.
That just prickles the back of your neck.
Totally. And the source specifically mentioned that phenomenon, how when a predator, a real predator, is close, everything just goes silent.
Yeah, the birds stop singing, the insects go quiet. It's like the whole forest holds its breath.
Yeah.
Primal fear indicator.
And that's what happened. Dead quiet. The hiker knew instantly they were being stalked, so they pull out their handgun. A Taurus 856.38 special, sensible carry piece for trails.
His call. Deterrence is key.
They call out, loud warning, I know you're there, I'm armed. Something like that. No one shows themselves. But the hiker said they just felt watched intensely. That feeling of eyes boring into your back.
The stalker probably just froze, waiting, assessing.
Maybe. Later on, further down the trail, the hiker bumps into two fly fishermen, asks them, hey, did you see anyone else back there? And they did. They saw a guy walking the other way, someone who just gave an awkward mumble when they passed.
Okay.
Here's the kicker. The fisherman said the guy was wearing camouflage, full camo.
In September. Not hunting season for everything, but maybe.
But he wasn't carrying a hunting rifle or shotgun, and crucially, he wasn't wearing any safety orange.
Ah, that's the red flag. Head-to-toe camo, no weapon, no orange. That's not a hunter. That's someone trying not to be seen.
Exactly. Both the hiker and the fisherman immediately clocked that as deeply suspicious.
So the stalker was real, and maybe trying to blend in after being called out.
Or maybe it was
someone else entirely.
That ambiguity is creepy.
Or maybe it was one of the fishermen, playing innocent. The hiker even wondered that. It messes with your head.
Yeah, that's pure psychological horror movie territory. The threat could be anywhere, anyone.
The really terrible part comes weeks later. The hiker gets a call. McCormick County Sheriff's Department.
Oh boy.
The deputy tracked the hiker down using info from the fishermen.
Why?
Because they were now a potential witness, the deputy tells them. They found human remains. Not one set, two sets of human remains.
No. Where?
Hidden inside one of those shelters near the creek, one of Ron's shelters.
Come on, the harmless hobbyist.
Ron was their number one suspect. The friendly old guy building shelters was likely much, much worse.
And the hiker. They were being stalked near those shelters.
Yeah, the realization hit them hard. They likely narrowly avoided being victim number 3.
Wow. Wow. That's terrifying. The benign facade hiding something monstrous, using the wilderness itself as a tool for evil. It really makes you think about who you pass on the trail, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. Okay, one more story. This one sounds different again.
Yeah, this last one shifts again. We go back to 1995. Arizona, Tonto National Forest. It's not about a predator in the woods, but about someone seemingly consumed by the woods or by something inside them. The case of Devin Eugene Williams. Truck driver, right? Yeah. 29 years old. By all accounts, a really good-natured guy. Just started a new life in Kansas, happily married, no history of mental health issues, no substance abuse problems mentioned. Just a normal guy driving his route.
Okay, setting the baseline. Normal guy, stable life.
Then something snaps. Witnesses in Tonto National Forest start seeing this huge 18-wheeler, 48-foot, 10-ton refrigerated rig driving incredibly recklessly, speeding down these narrow Forest Service roads where a truck like that has absolutely no business being, nearly hitting hikers.
That alone is bizarre. What was he doing off the main highway in a semi?
Exactly. And the witnesses who saw the driver, Devin, described him as disturbingly expressionless, blank-faced, driving like a maniac.
Dissociated. Panicked. Something was clearly very wrong.
Very. Soon after, the truck is found. Stuck. Deep mud. Off Forest Service Road 137. Just abandoned. The cargo inside. 1,200 boxes of lettuce and strawberries. Perfectly fine. The refrigeration unit's still running.
So he didn't wreck it completely, just got stuck.
Yeah.
And the load was intact.
Right. And someone actually found him with the truck initially. A good Samaritan stopped, saw the stuck rig, saw Devin still in the cab, offered help, need a tow. Standard stuff.
And Devin's response?
Chilling. He just says, they made me do it.
They? Who's they?
No idea. He just added, apparently in a real panic, no one can help, I'm going to jail. Then he locked the truck door and just walked off into the woods.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. They made me do it. Classic paranoia, fear of prosecution. But locking the truck, that little bit of responsibility, locking up the valuable asset before fleeing, that suggests a weird conflict in his mind, right?
Yeah.
Utter panic, but also a shred of something else. Duty. Containment.
Investigators were baffled too. Why drive off-road? Who were they? Why lock the truck if he was just abandoning it in terror? It made no sense, especially for a guy with no history.
A complete, sudden psychotic break seems likely. But triggered by what? Something he saw. Something he did. Or just an internal collapse.
We don't know. But there was one final sighting. Later that same day, other witnesses found him further in the woods. He was acting incredibly strangely, kneeling on the ground, just staring at a tree, mumbling incoherently.
Okay, clearly deep in psychosis now.
Then he pulls out a $20 bill, puts it on the ground, and starts hitting it. Violently?
With a rock.
Hitting money with a rock.
Yeah, witnesses said it looked like he was trying to spark a flame with the rock, and the bill like trying to light a barbecue grill or something. Utterly bizarre.
Wow. Trying to make fire for money in a rock. That's primal fear territory, a complete disconnect from reality. Fire means safety, warmth, control. He's desperately trying to create it from impossible materials. When the witnesses got closer, he just screamed at them, threw the rock in their direction, and then stumbled off into the brush. And that was it. The last time anyone ever saw Devin Williams alive.
Just vanished into the wilderness, consumed by whatever terror had gripped him.
The end of the story is grim. 2 years later, 1997, a couple of hikers found a human skull.
Oh, man.
At the bottom of the Mogollon Rim, it's spelled Moggyown in the source. Might be a typo for Mogollon, a famous landmark there. Anyway, found less than a mile from where his truck got stuck.
So he didn't get far.
No. Dental records confirmed it. It was Devin Williams.
Just succumbed out there, alone with his fear. But the question remains. What was he so afraid of?
Yeah.
What could possibly cause such a rapid total breakdown?
We'll likely never know, but it's a horrifying thought. Whatever it was, it drove him mad and killed him just a short distance from potential rescue.
These three stories, they paint such a dark picture, don't they? You've got the calculated fugitive in Beaverhead, the hidden predator in Stevens Creek, and then the complete psychological implosion in Tonto. The wilderness didn't create the darkness, it just provided the stage and the isolation.
It really underscores that the biggest danger out there often isn't the wildlife or the weather, it's people. People pushed to extremes, people hiding secrets, people losing their grip.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it suggests that human desperation, hidden lives, fractured minds, that's maybe more terrifying than any ghost story, because it's real.
Absolutely. So it leaves us with a final thought. Maybe for you listening, considering Andrew's ordeal, the horrifying truth about Ron, Devin's tragic end, is the peace and quiet of the deep woods really worth the risk? Worth finding out who or what might be hiding just off the trail? Thank you for joining us for this. Well, this unnerving deep dive into the shadows of the forest, we hope you found these true stories as captivating and, frankly, scary as we did. If you're a fan of horror and true crime stories like these, please do hit the like button, maybe share it with someone who'd appreciate it, and definitely subscribe to our channel, Horror Docs, for more narratives like this. We'll see you next time.